Welcome to the Bromo Arts District podcast, where we talk with the people who make music, art, and theater happen on Baltimore's West Side. I'm Steve Yasko, Executive Director of the Bromo Arts and Entertainment District. Today we're talking with Zach Mickle and Michael Bush, the founders of the Charm City Fringe Festival, which takes place in the Bromo District this fall. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having us, Steve.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
So what is a Fringe Festival?
It's a celebration of theater, arts, performing arts specifically, and ours in Baltimore really tries to bring the community of Baltimore theater together. But specifically, this is the 6th year of the Charm City Fringe Festival, and we always have phenomenal companies, local and from out of town performing. We try to show the beauty that is independent theater.
So they're actually short plays as well. The performances themselves are not like going to a performance at Everyman or Hippodrome that's going to be 2.5 hours.
Exactly. These are one acts, generally 40 to 60 minutes, and you're going to see a lot of original works, a lot of first-time productions. They might be statewide debuts or national debuts, but you're getting a lot of experimental stuff.
Rethought theater. A lot of times we'll get companies that are doing Shakespeare, but they're doing it in a different way, or they're doing something that you might see at Everyman or at Center Stage, but they're doing it in a
reimagined way.
They're reimagining work.
Why did you guys start the Charm City Fringe Festival? I know there was sort of a national movement. There's many Fringe festivals around the country. What gave you the idea to bring it to Baltimore?
Seeing our friends go to other cities. So we had just recently graduated college, and a lot of our friends were in theater programs around the state, and they predominantly went to New York or DC, and since then they've gone elsewhere, but we wondered why they weren't coming to Baltimore to find work. I think a lack of connection. There was a lot of opportunity to build connections in Baltimore theater scene. You had, and still have, Everyman, Hippodrome, Center Stage, you've got the arena players and such, but then there's a real gap from there to the community theater where it's hard to find work, and it's also just not necessarily terribly well connected. It's hard to find your way into the theater scene, whether you're an actor, a writer, or just a patron looking for the arts.
I understand the scheduling allows for folks to have a cocktail or a beer in between.
Yeah, for sure. We really urge patrons to show hop, to see as many performances as possible over the course of the festival. And since the shows are only 45 to 60 minutes long, you could go see a show, head out, grab a drink somewhere, and then go see another show. If you've done all of that, you've probably only spent 3 hours, which is the perfect amount of time to stay out for a night.
It gives you a lot of opportunity to start a conversation. It gives you material to just have a really fun date night, with someone. That's, I think, the best way to kind of enjoy the festival is to do what Mike said, show up and just enjoy a couple different things throughout the night.
So what are the dates of the festival?
November 2nd to 12th.
And how are the individual shows scheduled each evening?
On weeknights, the earliest show you would be able to see would be 7 o'clock. And then they kind of go by the hour from there. So there'll be shows at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And there's some kind of interspersed as well, 7:15, 7:30. It depends on the venue. There are 6 different stages this year for the festival, and each stage has a little bit of a different schedule. But generally, you could see a show pretty much every hour from the beginning of the festival through the end.
So that's a lot of theater, and theater tickets can be pretty expensive. What's that good date night going to cost?
Yeah, the pass. So you can pick up passes beginning September 12th, and the passes range from 3 shows, 5 shows, all access, where you can see the entire festival, anything that you would like to see and that would be about $100. But there's going to be some date night tickets as well. That'll be good for 2 people for 2 shows.
That sounds like a date to me.
Yeah.
How many theater groups are in the festival?
We have 26 this year.
Is that more than usual?
It's more, most we've had so far, actually.
Yeah, everything is bigger and better in the Bromo district.
That sort of begs the question, why did you choose the Bromo district to move the festival to?
We really wanted to have a festival grounds where you could walk to everything and have that critical mass, be created. So if you come down, you're going to see friends and family, hopefully, but also just other theater goers throughout the whole night. coming and going from the bars, the restaurants, and of course the theaters themselves. And you yourself, if you want to get down there early, you can park and just venue hop from there.
So, what are some of the venues and theaters? Because sometimes these are pop-up theaters as well.
Yeah, so this year, traditional spaces will be at the 14K Cabaret in the Maryland Art Place, which is on Saratoga Street, and you just got to go down into the basement, and then you're in the cabaret. We'll be at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center, which is right on Howard Street, and we'll have a couple of stages in there. And then non-traditional spaces will be at 322 North Howard Street. We actually have 3 stages in that space. It's an old storefront. It's currently housing PMS parking, and maybe a couple of other businesses as well. But we'll have 3. We'll set up 3 different stages within different rooms and different floors of that building, which will be really cool. And then our festival headquarters is going to be at Lamondo.
That's where the cocktails in between will happen.
Cocktails in between. We'll have some cool kind of after hours. It's our Fringe After Dark series. There'll be different bands playing. We'll have a comedy night. We'll have poetry evening. All sorts of cool, fun, entertaining things going on there.
Zach, how did you guys meet? How did you guys form this collaboration?
Goodness. So, Mike and I have been friends since middle school.
Yeah, 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah. We'd been in touch. We'd actually, at the time when Fringe came into fruition, we were working on a web series. Both of us were looking to add some creative endeavors. We had some time on our hands for a few reasons. And I came to Mike and I said, hey, we've been working on this web series for a little bit. Let's do it. We've got friends in theater. We're having fun with this. Let's just put it on and see what we can do with it. It won't be a web series at that point. It'll be a staged play, but we'll see what happens, And Mike counter-offered with starting a Fringe festival.
They're so similar, producing one show and helping to produce 26 shows. We had a lot of friends that were in theater, and a lot of them were going away. And I had actually just recently been to the Capitol Fringe Festival, and I think Zach might have actually been performing in it that year. And I was driving home from D.C., and I kept thinking to myself, man, this drive sucks. Why am I going to D.C. to see theater? I know there's plenty of theater in Baltimore. And then I thought to myself, man, what would be an awesome thing to do is start a Fringe festival in Baltimore. So I went to the person that I knew would follow along with my harebrained schemes, and I said, Zach, let's start a Fringe festival instead of pursuing other artistic endeavors. And he said, well, okay.
Because I figured, a year later we'd be able to put on our show.
7 years later, you're producing 26 shows, assisting to produce, or however you mentor the different groups, coordinating the headquarters as well. And I understand that the Downtown Partnership is going to provide some extra services and create some spaces along Howard Street as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping that Downtown Partnership will, they're talking about doing some different pop-up shops, some different art shows, and just kind of like generally cool things to go and do in between seeing shows.
So are there any particular shows that you know are going to be produced that you have a recommendation for, or one that you're super excited about?
Well, it's kind of like choosing your own your favorite child.
And our favorite child is Qua Qua Qua.
Qua Qua Qua?
Yes, and we hope that that's how it's pronounced. It's spelled Q-U-A 3 times.
Okay.
So we imagine that it's Qua Qua Qua. That in particular is multimedia sound experience, like soundscape. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We've seen some of the clips from that show and from how it was put on earlier during a thesis project at Micah.
There's a ton of really cool things. I always look forward to returning artists. So we have a few artists and companies coming back this year that have participated with us in the past. One is Michael Burgos, who last year produced a show called The Eulogy, and he sold out, I think, every show that he performed in last year, which is awesome. And he's back this year with a new show called Yum, and I honestly have no idea what it's about, but I couldn't tell you because I don't remember. But Michael is a really, really awesome performer, and I would just be excited to see anything that he put on.
So this is really sort of volunteer-based as well. You guys are looking for volunteers to help during the festival itself.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Mike and I are volunteers, our entire board, and of course the box office personnel, the ushers, they're all putting in a lot of time because they care about the festival and want to see more art coming to and being produced in Baltimore. So yeah, it's all volunteer run, so we'd love to have other people out if they want to join us.
Zach and Mike, thanks for chatting with us today. The Charm City Fringe Festival takes place in the Bromo Arts and Entertainment District, November 2nd to the 12th. As you heard, the schedule will be posted soon, but you can support the Fringe Festival at their website, charmcityfringe.com, right now. And if you'd like to volunteer, send an email to volunteer@charmcityfringe.com. And for more information about the Bromo Arts and Entertainment District, you can visit our website at bromodistrict.org or our Facebook page at facebook.com/Bromo Arts District, all one word, where you'll find a comprehensive listing of the events, galleries, theaters, and other venues along the Park Avenue, Howard Street, and Utah Streets corridor. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back in the next week or so with a new artist for you to learn more about.